Hey there. So today we're going to do something really fun and kind of stupid where we replace the objective noise with anything we want, whether that be a screaming goat or any other noise file we can find online. And the way that we do that is we go into an override folder that is included in the City of Heroes game client in the folder called data. And the way that the data folder works is that if you can match the folder structure and the naming convention used in the game, then you can override any file. As long as it matches what it expects the path and the name to be, then it will use your copy instead of the one that's built into the game. So all you need to do is have that name and path, which you'll find a link in the description with a text file that lists all the sounds in the game that I was able to find for my client. And if that gets you the sound that you're looking for, great. But it's not always so obvious looking at the name of the file what sound it is, and you might have to hunt around. And for that, you're going to use a tool called Piglet, made by the Orodev team. And I found the GitHub for it, but it was a bit too complex and realistically just not necessary when you can download it directly from the Discord instead. And you unzip that guy, and then you have the Piglet file. And when you open the Piglet file, just point it to the pigs folder for your game. So in this case, my game client is called Cream Soda, and that's where all the game files are. And the pigs subfolder there, you just click on that and then say select folder, and it will load all the pigs for the game. Now you go to sound, right click the OGG one and export, choose a location on your computer, and you'll end up with a folder full of files and sound files, and you can just navigate around and find which one it is that has the sound that you want to replace or change the volume of. Hello, Howling Twilight. And then you just start getting to work. Now, for the purposes of this exercise, we're just going to replace the objective loop.ogg file, and ogg is basically MP3. I don't know why they're oggs, whatever. And that's in data sound ogg front end. So as long as you put a file called objectiveloop.ogg in that folder with that name, City of Heroes will pick it up and use it automatically. So the only thing you have to do once you've got that structure figured out is find the replacement file you want to use. And this is a website called Openverse, has a whole bunch of sound files with various licenses and what have you. I don't remember where I got my Screaming Goat specifically, but this is a good example. Then you open up Audacity, and Audacity is a completely free open source tool. I think it's open source. Well, it's a free tool that lets you open MP3s very easily. Just drag and drop or click the open button, and then go into the menu and export the audio and choose the OGG format, and then tell it where to save it, and then just navigate to data, sound, OGG, front end, objective loop. If you have one there already, like I do here, I'm going to rename it to something else, and then just click save as the original file's name, so objectiveloop.ogg. Now, you load up your game client, and I'll just pick one of my characters. Had a few mistakes there, so here's Screaming Gale instead. And I'm just going to have her pull one of the radio missions, real simple, anything that has a findable object, and then I'm going to start running, and I'll save you the trouble of watching me run through the city, and I'll just jump into the lab. And once again, I'll save you the trouble of me running around through here, and we'll just skip to the end with my invisibility, and voila, Screaming Goat. So the cool thing about this is that you can have it be pretty much anything you want. And you can see here I created a bunch of files ahead of time to try different sounds. And all you have to do is change the name or delete the objectiveloop.ogg file, and replace it with any of these others. I've got a few different ones here. So, for example, and one thing that I found when I was experimenting with this is that you don't even need to restart the client for the new sound to take effect. As soon as you rename the file and then open the window back up again, it will be the new noise. So you can play with this endlessly while standing in front of the object to see what suits you best. Now, in my case, I set my sound file to be just the standard objective noise, just louder, but you can make it anything you want. The limit is your imagination, and you can do that with any of the sound files in the game as long as you can figure out what the name and location of the sound file to replace is. Then just replace it and you're golden. So have some fun.